السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala poses a question in Surah Saba and says, قُلْ مَنْ يَرْزُقُكُمْ مِنَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Ask them, who is the one providing you from the heavens and the earth? Meaning, through the heavens like rain, and through the earth like vegetation, and all the means that we use through the heavens and the earth, or from the heavens and the earth, the means that we use in order to sustain our livelihood, in order to build professions, in order to establish ourselves monetarily. Ask them, who is the one providing you? Now, for most people, at least for us Muslims, the answer is clear. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This doesn't negate our responsibility in pursuing and doing in order to earn and to gain. But overall, it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is providing us not only with our sustenance on a day-to-day basis, but also is providing us with the ability to pursue that sustenance. And for some people, they might think, well, I'm the one doing, and there's a system that I understand, and that system is built by human beings. You know, when you look at wealth or money, paper money, the value of that money, how to earn it, how it's made, the entire process seems to go back to human beings. However, when you truly contemplate it, you see that although we have a system and we built a system, in reality that system is working within another system and based on another system, and that is the system which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala implemented on this earth. So for us Muslims, it is Allah who's providing us, who always has provided us and always will provide us. He is the one who provided us with a mother to nurse us and to care for us, with a father to take care of us financially, with parents to teach us. He is the one who provided us with education, or put us in a situation where He gave us the faculties, the senses to learn and to develop so that we can pursue. Ask them, who is providing you? And the answer is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And at the theological level, this is an argument to say that none is worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we as human beings, we recognize the more financially independent we are, the better life will be. The easier life will be. That is not to say that no problems come about, because someone can be very wealthy, but they are dealing with major problems at another level. But when it comes to interacting with other human beings, the more financially independent we are, the less likely someone will take advantage of us. The less likely we will have to go to someone else for help. And that brings us solace, that brings us comfort. That is a taste in life that is quite beautiful, that we all strive for. Financial independence, financial stability. But ask yourself, we should ask ourselves, who is the one providing us? And that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we acknowledge that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala essentially equips us with a tool that will make us independent and free. By understanding that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the primary means for our sustenance, our well-being, we will recognize that if we ever need anything, that along with pursuing financial stability, we can go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask Him for help. We can go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask Him to give us a situation that we can build financial stability through or on. By understanding that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one providing us, we realize that there's no need to depend on other than Him. And if we do not need to depend on anyone other than Him, then we should not worship anyone other than Him. By giving us this gift, that your sustenance is in Allah's hands, He is the authority in control, then it gives us that freedom. By being dependent on Allah, the more dependent we become on Allah, the more independent we become on everything else. And that is freedom. And that is true solace. To feel free, that I don't need anyone else. And that if I ever need anything, then I can go directly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I can reach Allah quicker than I can reach my neighbor. Quicker than I can reach my father, or my brother, or a good friend. I can reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and He can respond quicker than anyone else. This is true independence. But the beauty of it is that we need to make ourselves dependent on Allah in order to be independent of everything else, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So ask yourselves, who is the one providing you? And the more we are able to acknowledge, to recognize, to observe that Allah is the one providing us, then the more free we will live. You see the key word freedom, a key word in the American and Western context. And it is a beautiful word. And it is an important word. Because when freedom is intact, humans flourish. But when tyranny is around, it essentially suppresses the human mind. And then humans cannot flourish. So freedom is important. But Islam is suggesting a different type of freedom. Not freedom to do whatever you want, because such freedom actually leads to enslavement. Do whatever you want, and then people, the stronger will take advantage of the weaker. True freedom is dependence on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we can acknowledge, affirm that our provisions are from Allah, then we are able to make ourselves independent from other than Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. And essentially, it frees us from being shackled by fear. Fear, a powerful tool. Fear is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala arouses in the Quran many times. Why? Because it's powerful and it impacts behavior. But what Allah does is channel that fear directly to Him, who is our source of independence, in order to divert it from being exploited by other than Him. And if our fear is aroused by other than Allah, then we can be taken advantage of and we can be enslaved. True freedom is recognizing that by being dependent on Allah, then you are depending on your source of provision, your source of well-being, and your source of sustenance. So ask yourselves, who is the one who provides you from the heavens and the earth? Qulillah. Say Allah. And what's interesting, the verse concludes with a theological point. وَإِنَّا أَوْ إِيَّاكُمْ لَعَلَى هُدًى أَوْ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. It is either us as Muslims or you as polytheists who are on misguidance. We cannot both be on guidance because we subscribe to fundamentally different theologies. They both cannot be right. They cannot both be right. So it's either we are on guidance or you are on guidance. And what's interesting is when we consider the connection between provisions and the source of our sustenance being with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the concept of hidayah and guidance. You see, the more we acknowledge and recognize that our well-being, especially our financial well-being, is with the hand or in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the less we will become attached to other than Him. The less we will need other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And by rizq, by provisions, it's not just monetary. A good spouse is part of provision. Knowledge is a type of provision. Health is a type of provision. A good neighbor is a type of provision. Your children are a source of provision and a type of provision. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is linking Tawheed, monotheism, and His providence, His sustenance, to guidance and to theology. Because the more we can recognize our well-being, our sustenance is from Allah, the more we realize how important Tawheed, monotheism, is. How important it is for us to depend on Allah and thus submit to Him. The more we depend on Him, the more independent we are of other than Him. True freedom. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to provide us with that true freedom. Ameen. So inshallah, the flyer for the Qiyam will come out tonight, inshallah. So when I get home, I will finalize it and release it. It will be on Friday night, inshallah. And of course, we can't do what we normally do, but we will try and keep the community, keep engaging the community, and keeping the community engaged with us. We have invited Sheikh Yasir to give a talk. I myself will give a talk. The program will start at 9:30, like we always do. And then from 9:30 to around 10, it will be the recitation. And then Sheikh Yasir will come and provide us with some reflections. And then afterwards, we will continue the recitation. And then I will come and give another talk. And then we will conclude it with a dua. So please do join us. Invite others to join us. And please continue to support the masjid. There is the Launch Good page that you can find on the OCIF website. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for your sacrifices and for your efforts and good deeds. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replace all that you spend in His cause. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.